Hello, my Blockhead beauties. It's your girl, that Wahlburgers chick, coming to you with another episode of A Day in the Life of a Blockhead. Now, today, my guests are, introduce yourselves.
Rafeef,
Renee Shaheen from Detroit, Michigan. Hey.
Hey.
Rafeef Samo, originally from Detroit, now in San Diego, California.
I know it looks sunny back there. I see you in your car. It's awesome.
Oh,
Okay,
dark
so
and gloomy here.
yeah,
Cheers.
yeah. So we got Renee and we got Rafeef. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with you, Rafeef. Could you tell us how old were you when you first discovered New Kids and what was the song that did it for you?
I was 11 and a half, and it was Please Don't Go Girl with Joe holding that microphone and his blue eyes popping through.
That's you. That's how he got me. How about you, Renee?
Oh, that's definitely going to have to be the right stuff when I saw Donnie in those ripped jeans. I think I was 12 and I was like, that's who is this man? And then I had to buy the cassette tape. I had my mom take me to Sam Goody or Musicland back then. That was it for me. That's it. Done.
And you was hooked. And you was
I
hooked.
was hooked when I saw those jeans.
Okay, so Rafeef, so after you discovered that song and that song made your heart melt, like I'm sure it did to most of us, were you one of those blockheads that had like posters all over the walls?
Yep, not an inch of my bedroom wall could be seen if it didn't have one of the New Kids on it, and some of the ceiling in my closet as well.
Yeah, I did that too. And did you also like write on your jeans? Did you get in trouble for that? And,
Yep.
and just
Jeans,
write.
notebook, you name it.
Mhm. And we bedazzled everything back then. Did you do that as well?
Yep. I still have my diary that says I'm going to be Mrs. Joe McIntyre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all thought that.
Yes.
So what about you, Renee?
Oh, you couldn't see an inch of my walls either. I shared a room with my sister that loved Joe. So Donnie was on one side, Joe was on the other. We had the bed sheets, we had the shoestrings, you name it, we
Like,
had it. Everything, everything. We had every. You couldn't see an inch of our walls either.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I used to even put it like on the side of my dressers.
everywhere. You can't. The mirrors. You couldn't even look in the mirror in my room. Donnie was over my bed. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
awesome.
Nice, nice. And did you do the same thing? Did you like bedazzle all your stuff?
Oh, I did everything. Everything was new. Even in high school, I got suspended. I used to write Donnie all over everything. One day, my teacher took my stuff and he threw all the papers up in the air. One got stuck in the ceiling. He's like, I can't deal with this anymore. So I got suspended for a couple days over that. Everything was I love Donnie. I love Donnie. He's like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Oh my
He's,
God.
he's like, no more.
So Rafeef, did you get bullied or picked on or anything for being a blockhead back in the day?
yes, especially, I mean, obviously in middle school, like all the boys were jealous, so they would pick on the girls about that. But then in high school, when they were still, out there, not as popular, especially when Face the Music came out, people were relentless, but I didn't care. I was getting picked on for other stuff to begin with. So I'm like, I didn't matter to me.
Hmm.
So did they help you through that? Because I know that when it comes to New Kids back in the day, like they help us to live life. They help us to get through a lot of trials and tribulations. Like that, was that for you?
100%. Music has always brought me comfort. And Joe's voice in particular, Keep on Smiling was a personal favorite in that respect as well. And um, always, I would just go to my room, put my Walkman in or my mixtape of my New Kids songs and other things, and just kind of get lost in that and find peace that way.
Hmm.
Renee, was it the same for you? Did you get bullied or anything like that?
You know what? I never got bullied about New Kids on the Block, but like my high school pictures, you know how you look in the yearbook? I'm wearing a New Kids on the Block shirt and like every picture with that huge New Kids on the Block thing. I was just known as the New Kids on the Block girl. But I used to weigh like 338 in high school. I'd get made fun of and stuff. But you know what? I never got bullied because of them, maybe so much more for my weight. But watching the videos over and over again when you get home after school, doing the paid per views, that my
Yes.
sister liked them, my two cousins liked them. We all like different guys. It was just an amazing time. Amazing, amazing.
So
Everything was great.
So then it's safe to say that both of you woke up Saturday morning to
Oh
watch.
yeah.
Of
I
course.
have the comics. I have some of the comics still to this day
Mhm.
from
Were you
the
mad, Rafeef, when you had to wake up and it was a rerun? I'd be like, dang, it's a rerun today.
or we'd have to fight because I have an older brother who did not want to watch New Kids on the Block in the morning, much less listen to them any day of the week. And back then we didn't have DVR and all of that. So yeah,
No,
it
we
was
had a VHS cassette and a VHS, and we would just try to record it if we can so we can watch it. And then we had a commercials and all of that we had to deal with. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
These days don't realize how good they have it with Spotify and YouTube and all of that for
I
sure.
know, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so then now did any of you get to see them in concert back then?
Yes, I
Yep.
did 3 times when I was a kid. They were like the nosebleed seats. And my brother had to take me one time, and he was not enthused whatsoever. But his girlfriend had a little sister who wanted to go too. So that's the way we got to go. And then my mom took me 2 other times.
So you went
But
to the Summer Magic Tour?
yes, that one, Step by Step. And I think there was 2 shows in one year that I got to see. I don't remember which one, but I saw in 1990 and 1991, 3 of them.
Okay, okay. And what about you, Renee?
My first concert was December 2nd, 1989, the Palace of Auburn Hills in Detroit, Michigan. It was snowing. We had nosebleed seats too, but they did their little Christmas thing. They had the Cover Girls and Dino opening, and oh my God.
Yes.
They were like this big, and I was like, oh, I'm breathing the same air as this man. Oh my gosh. It was the best day of my life. Oh, I've seen them many, many, many times. Yes.
Yeah. I
That
have
is
pictures that are like dark, like they're like little stick
The
figures.
first one,
Can't
they're
see
little.
any-
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. And you were just as excited to be there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. You just feel like, I can't believe this. It's like you want to pinch yourself. Am I really in the same room as these people? And
Yep.
Donnie, like, they're doing the Christmas songs, and I love the Christmas CD. And I was just like, wow.
I know,
Wow.
because now it makes it real. You're like, oh my God, they're real. They're right there. Even though they're like
Yeah.
a mile away. They're right there.
Yes. Yes.
All they
100.
got to do is see us and they'll want to marry me, you
I'm
know?
getting goosebumps thinking about it. Look at my hairs on my arms. They're sticking up.
Yeah, well, that's why I love to do this show, because we reminisce about everything that we were doing. So then you guys had like the dolls and everything?
Oh, everything. I had everything. You name
I
it.
did had a few things, but go for it, Renee.
Oh, I've had everything. The dolls. Donnie Wahlberg threw me his sunglasses at the casino tour. I had second row because I was wearing his shirt that said "Rise and Grind" for his new CD. It was like slow motion. They were meant for me. So
Okay, we're gonna get to that because that's a little later. We're gonna get to
okay,
that. Awesome.
sounds good.
And what about you, Rafeef?
I had, and I still actually have, that's one of the very few things I still have left, the New Kids on the Block picture trunk.
Mhm.
And it has like the magazines. I still have some of the 8x10 color posters from my room, but I have like a bunch of magazines. I have a couple of the dolls. I have a water bottle. I have this peace sign necklace that says New Kids on the Block. I have earrings, a hat, and this shirt that I'm wearing. You can probably see all the buttonholes up top here, but this is
Oh,
an original
funny.
80s.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing, and it still fits. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, more so on top than the bottom, but you know, it works.
See, I couldn't fit into their shirts back then, so I was so disappointed. I was never able to. Now they make bigger shirts, but my heart broke because I couldn't get that first Donnie shirt with the individual one. My heart was so broken. I could not fit into that shirt because I weighed 340. But
Yeah, but see now, because I was I was skinnier back then, but now being big, trying to wear those shirts, I would just cut the picture out and sew it on another one, girl.
well, there's a
Yeah.
God, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so then now I'm gonna take you to 94. New Kids broke up. Tell me what that was like for you. Go ahead, Rafeef. Tell me.
I actually recently, because I was looking through some of my stuff, and I found a letter I wrote in January 1994 to them. I don't know if I sent it and I kept a copy, but I was touting them and saying, I'm so glad you guys are still together. And you guys bring so much joy. You need to go on tour again. I mean, I didn't know much back then of what was really going on because no one did. We didn't have the information that we did now, but I was really excited because I was doing a semester away in high school in Washington, D.C., and I brought my stuff with me. And that's kind of where I got people making more of the comments as to, you're 16 years old. What are you still doing listening to those guys? You should be into Nirvana and, all these other new age acts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Renee?
I was devastated. I'm not gonna lie. Like there was rumors going around, and then they had that rumor about John. I was like, oh, but they did do a show where there was like 4 of them. I think Rafeef, you were at that show for Face the Music. And yeah, I was devastated. I'm not gonna lie. I cried a lot. I was like,
did.
Yeah, it was bad.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
So during that time, like after New Kids broke up, you had mentioned Nirvana and stuff like that. So when New Kids broke up, there was really nowhere else to go, right? So musically, you had to get into other stuff. I know I got into the grunge and the rock and the metal. I'm still a metalhead, but I love my boys. I will always love my boys, and I'll never give them up. So yeah. So what was that like for you? Like, some of us grew up, graduated, had some kids, became some parents. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I slowly was getting into country music at the time. That's when Garth Brooks came out and things like that. But, there weren't any boy bands out there for a little while. I mean, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC didn't come until like the late 90s. And I got into them a little bit too, but never the same like I was with New Kids on the Block. There's just something about, they were technically my second love in terms of boy bands, but there's just something about them that carries me to this day.
Yeah. And what about you, Renee?
Yeah, I got married later on, and that's when I got rid of all my New Kids on the Block stuff. But I still always love them. But I got into the R&B more in like Silk, Jodeci, stuff like that. But like as Rafeef was saying, I never stopped loving the New Kids on the Block. Still watch videos. I just kept going and holding on to hope.
Yep. Yeah. So then, do any of you have your friends from back then still to this day?
No, not me.
No,
not me. Other than, well, Renee, even though we didn't know each other then, I was friends with her sister and I didn't know it. Didn't know her at all. So it's kind of a funny story in that way. But no, I have one best friend that moved overseas to Lebanon and she still loves Jordan. She's a Jordan girl still, but we're not in the same space to be able to geek out over them.
And what about you, Renee?
My sister, like Joe, like I said, I have 2 cousins that like 2 other guys. So we were always us 4, like all the concerts, the meet and greets. They moved away. We'll go to Florida for their shows. They'll come here. We always still love them. Nothing. We were always a team when nothing ever has changed with that.
That's amazing.
And you did.
Okay, so then now, 2008, they make an announcement that they're getting back together. Can you tell me where you was when you heard that they were getting back together? Go ahead, Rafeef.
I was in our condo and I was heavily pregnant, or I think I had just given birth actually, because wasn't the announcement in June or was it before?
May.
May. Yeah. I was very, very pregnant because my son was born at the end of May. And I remember like jumping up and down and squealing. And my husband was like, what's going on? What's happening? I'm like, New Kids on the Block are getting back together. And he's like, and? I'm like, and? I was so excited. I'm like, I can't wait for them to go on tour. He's like, you're about to have a baby. I'm like, the baby can come too. He's like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's ecstatic. When they released the video for Summertime, I was like, and Renee was the one that confirmed this eons later, ecstatic that the flag at the back of the boat, I'm like, is that a Lebanese flag? Is that a Lebanese flag? Because her and I are both Lebanese. And I just thought it was so cool in the video that it might be, but I never got confirmation until 2023 that was the case.
Because I asked them what their meet and greet, and they both confirmed. Joe and Donnie both confirmed it. So I was like, yes, I was right.
So where were you when you heard the news?
Oh my gosh, I was in my parents' dining room. I was talking to my sister about it. I was engaged. My ex-husband was overseas. I met him overseas. I was still engaged. And I told my sister, they're coming back. And she's like, no. I'm like, they are. And I remember when they decided to finally start doing meet and greets when they did that. And I'm like, they're coming to Chicago. I'm signing us up for meet and greet tickets. And she's like, they're not going to meet us. No. That is impossible. That's not happening. I'm like, I just booked 2 meet and greets for us. She's like, it's not happening. You're lying. You're joking. Went to Chicago, met them for their first. We were just ecstatic. When they came on that stage singing Single, we cried like babies. Like babies.
Same.
Like I looked at her, she looked at me. Like I want to cry just thinking about it. We were bawling our eyes out. It was just such a moment. Like after all this time, they're coming out and singing Single, and it was just again the goosebumps. It was just amazing. We were both crying like tears of joy. It was just like, whoa.
That
Is it really real? Yeah.
Yes, when they came back.
Yeah, because we waited 14 years for that to happen.
Yes.
And we never thought it was going to, because there was a show that was attempting to get them together for a one night only show, and they said no.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Like, this never happening, and it did.
In October, I think that tour came because we were in Chicago, and I was married by that time for a couple months, and we were bawling. I just remember us crying our eyes out, just crying and crying at that show. They're back. They're back.
I went by my.
I'm sorry?
I was going to say, I went to that concert by myself. It was my first outing for having my son, several months later. And I just could not believe it. And it was like one of those things where you're looking at them now, yourself an adult, but you're remembering your connection to them when you were a kid. So it was like nostalgia meets excitement meets disbelief and reality all at the same time. Like all those old feelings, whether you had felt them a month before, 2 years before, or 14 years before, or whatever, all came back like it was no time had passed.
Boy, you hit the nail on the head. That's perfect way to describe that.
So is it safe to say that, you're adults now, so you have money to be able to pay? Your seats were better, I'm assuming.
Oh, 100%. I'm not playing with those little men anymore. No. If I don't have first, second, or third row, I'm not going. It's not happening.
That hasn't for me yet, but after this last tour, it's happening. I'm like, there's no way. I mean, I had better seats for sure, but in terms of shelling out that kind of money, I have 3 kids, 1 kiddo with special needs, and it's like you have to try to justify spending that kind of money. But my husband saw how happy I got after I go to concerts. I think it proved my point that those better seats are necessary.
Right. Can you give me money for Valentine's Day, for Mother's Day? That money? Can we just save that money for that? Yeah, my husband understood, definitely.
See, that's a good thing, right? Because they're blockheads by marriage. I see that shirt a lot.
Oh yeah.
No. My husband is like blockhead by like default because he lives with one. He'd rather chew rocks, but he's happy I'm happy.
That's nice.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Okay, so then after 2008, you guys started seeing them more and more. Now, usually when we go to a concert, we have a ritual that we do before the concert, whether it be hooking up with some friends, you're going to go get your hair done, you're going to get NKOTB nails, whatever it is. What was your ritual?
I didn't have one because I only have gone to a few shows since the reunion happened, but I would try to go with new friends each time. But that's all different now. That was before. Mm-hmm. Now it's going to be a completely different story for the next tour.
That's
because so much more of a connection now because my circumstances are different than they were when they first came out.
Okay. Right. And how about you, Renee?
Oh, I was pregnant. I went to Canada. I went to Atlanta. I went to when they did the reunion, I went to probably like 15 shows. And it got to the point I had to start lying to my ex-husband. Well, he was my husband at the time because he didn't want me going to concerts pregnant. I'm like, I'd have to run out when he'd call me out of the, out where he can't hear the music. I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Just on a road trip. Well, yeah, just on a road trip. Because it happened when I was pregnant with both kids. They keep coming back and I'm like, I'm going. I'm not stopping. I'm unstoppable. I love these guys and I'm keep doing it. Donnie actually, I had a meet and greet with him and I was pregnant and my shirt said Donnie's love child. He's like, come here for a second. I'm like, what's up? He's like, He's like, he spun me around with his hand. He's like, let me see what you got. He's like, you're pregnant, huh? My baby? I'm like, yeah. He's like, wow, I have a way of making things happen. I'm like, Donnie, you look at me and I just get pregnant. He's like, wow. Wow. Oh, yeah. She was due a week before his birthday, too. Yeah, it was crazy.
So you just brought it to a whole new level of baby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I couldn't stop. I drove my sister went with me driving. My sister, my mom. We went to Atlanta. It was raining. We was outside. I was pregnant. I couldn't stop. It's an addiction.
It is. But wait, so you didn't secretly tell yourself, come out now while I'm at the concert so that the guys will see you?
Right. And you know what? Lily, my 11-year-old, moved the first time in my belly when I was listening to Jordan Knight in my car singing I'll Be Loving You Forever. So that's another thing that I remember. Yeah. So cute.
Oh my goodness. So you bought the little onesies and stuff that says Baby Blockhead or?
Oh, are you kidding me? I even took them to the concert. They both had to keep going to the bathroom. I had to leave after 4 songs. They were like probably 4 and 6. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to the next show the next night in Detroit. That was in Grand Rapids. I'm like, I'll have front row. We're on the side front row with them. Like, you guys can't keep doing this to me and having to go to the bathroom. This isn't happening. But my little one has met Donnie already. So I'm trying to get them both. They're baby blockheads now. We're getting there. This obsession is going to be really, really expensive with all 3 of us.
Okay. I feel you, girl. I feel you. I do, because I know the guy. So I get it.
Yep.
So then how part of what I like to do with this show is explain to anyone that doesn't understand our fandom what our fandom is like, because we have built family relationships with a lot of the blockheads. We have lifelong friends because of these 5 boys from Boston. So could you tell us, in your own experience, what that's been like for you, meeting other blockheads and all of that?
For me, yeah, it's new for me, but I can tell you that even back before I was more, getting to know more blockheads, I would be at the grocery store with a t-shirt on and someone would be like, oh my God, I love your shirt. I was just at their concert. And you would just start talking for like 5 minutes. And then my son, he must have been like 8 or 9 at the time. He's like, do you know her? I go, no. He goes, what are you talking about for 5 minutes? I go, New Kids on the Block. He's like, why? But like the other people automatically like understood without you having to say anything. And, this year, after going on my first cruise, I've jumped like full force into it, and people are just so sweet. And I always think, like, if not for the cruise, if not for the guys, if not for anything, there is no reason I would otherwise meet these people that are in France, in other parts of the country, in other parts of the world, if not for the guys. And they ended up being, in many ways, better friends than some of the friends I know in real life and see on a regular basis.
Yeah, that is exactly what happens with this fandom. And what about you, Renee?
I totally 100% agree with Rafeef. I was going solo on this cruise, and I got into some groups, and I met some amazing women that have helped me through. I can't even explain just the everyday life, bullying of my kids. And like, they are there to listen. I'm telling you, yeah, they're from England. I have this group that I speak to them on a daily basis that I've met on this cruise that have been just the most they get it. You know what I mean? They understand it. And everybody else kind of thinks we're crazy, I feel like. But these girls really, really get it. And their hearts are really in it, and they really care about you. It's not fake. Like, they check on you on a daily basis. Like Rafeef said, more than even your family does. These are our real sisters. Blockheads are real sisters, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. And the blockheads, new kids, anything related to the guys, they help you through your darkest time, at least that's how it's been for me. But every time I do these interviews, a lot of people tell me, yeah, they saved my life in some way, shape, or form.
So true.
Mhm.
So absolutely true.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, when Joe came out on his solo tour back in '99 with "Stay the Same," I loved that song, and I connected so much with it because of all the challenges I was going through at the time. But then I have a child with special needs, and he would hear me play the song in the car, and he tells me, he's 12 now. He goes, "Mom, it's okay that I'm different. Joe says it's okay. I don't need to change."
Rafeef, I didn't
It
know that.
got that song had a whole new meaning for me when my son said that, and it's so true. Like, music can connect you through language, through, I mean, any kind of difference. You don't have to know the language to appreciate the meaning and to have it give you meaning.
Yeah, that's why I became a DJ. I love it. I love music.
It's
So then that brings me to how you ladies met.
I'm gonna let Renee start the story because she started it.
Okay.
all right. Yeah, I was on a Facebook group, and then I noticed her name. I'm like, you're by any chance are you Lebanese? I sent her like a private message. She's like, yeah, I am. But she said she was from. I'm like, oh, I'm from Dearborn, Michigan. We were just talking. She goes, I'm from Dearborn, Michigan, but I live in California now. I'm like, really? I go, I went to Fortson High School. She goes, so did I. I'm like, what year did you graduate? She's like 95. I'm like, I'm in 93. And then I'm like, do you know my sister? She's like, yeah, I was good friends with your sister in high school. I'm like, what a small world. And then I saw her on the cruise, and everything is just so moving quickly and stuff. I saw her by the elevator, and we both said hi to each other, and that was the end of it. But then she started this group, the Bravehearts, and I know her mom was sick. I heard her say a few things. I'm like, do you need some help? And then I got to be an administrator in her group, and it just like blew up. And now we talk every day. We're on speed dial on each other's phones. Like, we're talking like 5 or 6 times a day, nonstop.
Like WhatsApp, Messenger, iMessage,
Not even
Facebook.
about new kids, life, anything.
She's like, I sent you a message. I'm like, where? I can't keep track of the threads.
Right.
But
Which place did you send it?
yeah, and it's like when we met on the cruise, Renee's right. I was like, hey, how are you? I'm Rafeef. I'm the one you were talking to. She's like, oh, hi. And you're with different people, and things are fast paced and stuff. So it wasn't even until after the cruise that we were able to just kind of like and just reminisce about it. And as Renee mentioned, we have this group that we can talk about a little bit later if you want. But it just kind of took off. So now, we've only spent physically 5 minutes in the same spot in real life.
It's crazy.
Well, that's only now because you guys just met. So, but the fact that you communicate every single day is exactly what I'm talking about with this fandom, because we end up becoming family. Sometimes, the fans are there to save your life in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes you just need a shoulder to cry on over the phone. It doesn't matter, and you have that. But I tell you what, it's better than any therapy any day, at least for me. At least
Agreed.
Like last week, and continuing on, my family's going through something very big, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings, and there's a flower arrangement, and I'm like, who sent me flowers, and it was from my 4 Blockhead sisters, including Renee, and they just did that on their own, and it just changes. Like, you feel like even though they're not in front of you, they don't have to be for you to feel their support.
Yeah.
And that they're there for you. So once you cross that boundary from going, oh my God, Donnie's gorgeous, to I'm having a really tough day and I don't know how to handle it. You can go to them for, oh my God, that's so cool, to I need help.
Yeah.
Without thinking twice.
I can't agree with you more. There's times where I'm like, I'm having the worst day, and I'll call one of my Blockhead friends, like, you're beautiful, you're strong, and you got this. Get it together. We're here for you. We are. I'm crying just thinking about it. Like, it's not just about the New Kids on the Block anymore. It's
No.
really, they're a big part of it. I think it's more about the Blockhead sisters at this point, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, they're
They-
the icing on the cake.
They yes, they are the icing.
They brought us together,
happened.
but we're continue to be together, whether it's about New Kids or not.
Absolutely.
Our captain taught us to spread love and love will spread. And we literally took that to heart. And this is why we are where we are. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so
And oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and we constantly bring in what they say, like, "Hey guys, nothing is random." As you know, Joe says, "Hey guys, make good choices, throw love like confetti," and it's like you're constantly reminding them of the connection. But what they say is true; it makes perfect sense. But it's easier to say that's what Donnie says than to say, "I'm telling you that you should spread love." It comes off differently.
It does. It does. It does. We'll listen more to him because that's just how we are. But then also, now that you guys have met each other, you created this group. Tell us a little bit about your group.
So even before the cruise started, we learned that Joe McIntyre was going to celebrate his 50th birthday at Carnegie Hall. And after just preparing to go on the cruise, I should say, I'm like, I really want to get to know more people, more Joe girls, and just kind of really connect with the community. So I created the group before the cruise, and it just sat there for a little bit and, got tickets, and that was a whole other mess. And initially the group was for people to try to find tickets, try to find roommates, try to make plans. And then when my mom, who's been sick off and on much of the year, was hospitalized again, Renee and another friend, Blockhead sister Lori, stepped in and said, "Hey, we'd like to help you." And then we just started playing off each other's strengths. Renee would be like, "You know what? Let's promote ourselves. Let's give a contest. Let's excite people." And I'd be like, "You know what? Let's find out this girl's favorite Joe story." Everybody started sharing different things. And then we're like, let's get together with them. Maybe we can do something when we get to New York. So Renee and I planned a dinner. We thought 20 people, an after party, maybe 30 people. We have over 86 people coming to our pre-concert dinner and 140 people with another 100 on a waiting list for our after party.
That's right.
Everyone's excited. People, like one Blockhead donated special buttons, another one a postcard, another bracelets. Like everyone is so excited to be together to celebrate Joe, but really to be together, that our membership is now, as of this morning, like 1,150 people.
Nice.
Just by word of mouth. I didn't promote it anywhere other than groups going, "Hey, if you guys are looking for tickets, here's this group." And just one thing led to another, and it exploded.
That's exactly what happened.
Nice. And then, so how did you guys become like the admins? Like, I know that you became an admin after Renee.
I think I did maybe a week after she started it, because I noticed I said, "Rafeef, do you need any help with this?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Sure, that'd be great." And then once like I said, her brain, my brain, I think her and I play off each other a lot. Like our personality, like we're really good friends, but like, I don't know. I feel like she's sweeter than, I don't know if I should, I don't even know how it's going to come out right. You know what I'm saying, Rafeef? Like,
yes, absolutely. Like I like to plan and details and write things down. Renee's like always thinking up new ideas. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's a great idea. I wouldn't have thought of that." Or, "I thought it was a silly idea. I was too embarrassed to say it." Renee is not afraid to say what's on her mind.
That's
yeah.
I just say, yeah.
And she's very good with people. I'm kind of an introvert. And it just kind of worked. And we've made it a big point in our group. Kindness only. I joke and I say we are not the Real Housewives of New Kids on the Block.
Right.
Will not tolerate bullying or attitude or snarkiness. And if you don't like it, please get out. I don't care who you know, how many concerts you've been to, if you're related to one of the guys. This is not okay. Yeah. And people continually commented how welcome they feel, how much fun the group is, and how just like sane everyone seems to be. And we're just trying to make it a happy place, because everybody's real life is a mess. I don't want to jump online and go with more drama. I want to have a good time.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a happy place.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's our happy place.
Yeah.
And we all have problems. We all have issues. This is our meeting spot. We're going to be nice to each other, and we're not going to make things worse for each other. This is our.
So tell everyone what the name of your group is.
Right now, it's the celebrating Joey McIntyre at Carnegie Hall, which is this coming Saturday. But after that, we're going to be switching it to Joey McIntyre's Bravehearts, because Bravehearts is what Joe has called his, OG fans and diehard fans, no matter when you started to like him or them, for 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So we play on that joke a lot because he liked the movie by Mel Gibson so much, and it just took off that way, and he's referenced it several times.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna take you girls back to the cruise. So Rafeef, tell me all the preparation that you did for the cruise and what you did for the theme nights.
Oh my gosh. So I had the tickets for the cruise since February, but because of my mom's health, I didn't know until the week of that I was for sure going, but I planned as if I was. So I heard about freebies. So I ordered like Donnie's Oath as bookmarks and a quote from Bring Back the Time. The promises we made were for life buttons. We got candy. My roommate and I, who have been friends since we were in college, but hadn't seen each other since I got married in 2006. We got together and planned a Halloween outfit. What is it? Betty Rubble and Wilma Flintstone for Halloween night.
Nice.
For Bring Back the Time night, I had like a Donnie shirt and like my hair in a ponytail. I didn't plan that properly, but that was fun. And then GPS night, I did go with the Lebanon theme. I had like a Lebanon hat, the Lebanese flag around my shoulders, and like a Lebanon t-shirt. And Love Eternal, I just had like a red dress with like white leaves on it. Because it was my first time and I hadn't participated in any groups before, because I was green with envy. I'm like, I don't want to know what I'm missing out on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how elaborate people got.
Mm-hmm.
And that blew me away, the creativity and all the effort people put into it, and how seriously they take the cruise to some extent too.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. So much fun.
Do you remember what your favorite costume was that you've seen on the entire cruise?
I love the fact that Johnny came out as a blockhead. I thought that was spot on. It was tastefully done. It just shows you as a fan how much respect he has for you and what you mean to them. Because, yeah, sure, some people will say that because they're in the business, but you feel it from them. Some more than others, sometimes better than other times, but you feel like they're really invested. Like Joe says, 5 brothers and a million sisters.
Mm-hmm.
You really felt that on the cruise.
Yep. And then what about you, Renee? What were your costumes for all the things?
Love Eternal. I just wore a red dress. The Halloween, I was a fortune teller, and I had a picture of myself, my wedding picture with Donnie in his tux, and it said, "My future sees. This is my future." For Halloween, for 80s night, I think it was. I just did, the looking like Cyndi Lauper or whatever, just the 80s stuff. Which one am I missing?
The Lebanon, the GPS.
Oh, GPS. I did Lebanon too. I had a huge flag. It said, Donnie. It was a huge flag. It said, Donnie, love speaks many languages, but your booty doesn't need explaining. And he took and he jumped up and down with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he had it in his pocket for 2 hours. He finally started jumping up and down with it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this man is beautiful." And Rafeef's like, "He didn't take mine." I'm like, "It's for both of us."
No,
Rafeef.
they took my flag, but they put it on the side. Yours was more exciting because it was bigger and had all that cool writing on it. I didn't care. I was just happy to have that flag flown.
And then when he gave it back to me, it was all his sweat, and I was like, "It's all sweaty from his pocket." It kept falling out of his pocket, and he's pushing it back in. I was watching him like a hawk. I was like,
"Girl, you got Donnie DNA."
Oh yeah. Oh, I blame Jordan for getting COVID too, because when he walked past me and I was talking to him, a little speckle. It's just a joke that I have. but like a little speckle of his saliva got on my lip, and I've never had COVID. And I thought to myself, this man just gave me COVID. It wasn't from Jordan, but I'm gonna take those bragging rights and say it was from Jordan.
I mean, if you're gonna get it, why not get it from Jordan?
I got it from Jordan. Everybody's like, from Jordan. I'm like, I'm joking, but it could be. I don't know. I did catch COVID on the cruise, so it was worth it. It was worth it. I don't know what was in the air on that cruise, but if I was obsessed before, I don't know what I'm gonna do this time. It's something in the air.
It's intoxicating.
Something in the air. I think they sprayed something in the air.
It's all that serotonin and all that, all that positivity that you're oozing because you're letting all your things go, as Donnie says in that oath. Just let it all go and take it all in, and that's what we all did to the max.
Yes. And you go in not expecting anything, and holy crap, the best 4 days of my life besides having my children. Best 4 days ever, 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 ever. And I had the worst year last year. It made up for the whole thing. The whole thing, that cruise.
And we didn't even drink. Either one of us don't even drink.
Yeah,
we're not talking that liquid libation had anything to do with it. We were instantly happy being there.
Exactly, 100%. Rafeef and I both don't drink.
You see, I was gonna say there was something in the drinks, but you girls don't drink, so it's okay. Yeah, but it's okay to not drink. Don't let nobody tell you have to.
Either way.
No.
I love to drink, but if you don't drink, it's okay. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna hang with you. Yeah, fun. We're gonna do this.
Oh yeah, it's
like I'm drunk, but I'm not.
Yeah.
No, we are intoxicated just being in the same space with them.
Yeah.
It's something about them. So like fans or people that don't know new kids, I'm so sorry for you.
I really do. You know what, Raven? I was heartbroken January to July last year. I was howling at the moon. I was begging God. I was crying every single night in my bed. I was crying in the car. I was crying sleeping. I was waking up crying. And then I went to the concert in June, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm done with this heartbreak. After that, it just like, I'm done. I didn't think I was going to recover. New Kids on the Block helped me with that too. June to December, it was the best best time of my life. It all disappeared. All that heartbreak, all that negativity, all gone. Bye-bye. All gone.
Yeah.
For me, it's remembering what Donnie said on the cruise. Remember this when you're at your darkest time. And I came back to a lot of dark times that are ongoing, even with all the great things that are coming up. And you do go back there. And a friend of mine told me that you seem to be a different person since you've gotten off that cruise. Same problems. Some are even bigger. But you just seem more at peace. And they're seeing the support of the friends and everything like that. They're like, wow, that alone just shows you what it means to be a blockhead.
The power of Blockhead, definitely. Yep. And so you said, you guys mentioned this was your first time on the cruise. So it's your first cruise that you went on?
My first cruise. Yeah.
Okay. So did you guys know anything about the door decorations?
We decorated.
We knew a little bit. I just didn't compare it to anything else, but yeah, we made our own.
Okay. So what was your door decoration?
For me, I took all of the New Kids on Block lyrics, all 34,000 plus words, and had someone lay them on top of a picture of them. So from far away, it looks like the guys, but when you get up close with a magnifying glass, because it had to be a 7.5 print font, all the words of all their songs were intertwined in the picture.
I saw that. That was amazing. That was amazing. Amazing job.
Amazing. Oh my goodness.
A lot of work, 2 weeks of typing, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, girl. Go ahead.
Do that at the end of the night when you're stressed out. I can't tell you how you would just go back in time listening and writing all those words down. It was very peaceful at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah. And then what about you?
I met a girl named Andrea, and we ended up being roommates. I met her before I got on the cruise. I met her the first time actually on the cruise, but we talked for months before. She's a Jordan girl. I'm a Donnie girl. So we did the Donnie and Jordan song. Oh my gosh, why did it just slip my mind? But our room door was all cake and ice cream because that's like their song. How did that song just slip my mind? We had Stingy. We had all Donnie and Jordan pictures up, and we had pictures of cake and ice cream all over the door. And we gave out like ice cream suckers at our door. Like I specially ordered ice cream flavored and candy outside of our door. So everything was just sweet, you know, for the Stingy theme.
That's awesome. I think I saw yours because I think I took a lollipop or something.
Yeah, that candy was gone like the first day. It was all gone. Yeah,
a lot of gone right away. It was amazing how things appeared.
Yep.
That's amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna say what I say on all my shows. I am not affiliated with New Kids, Wahlburgers, or anything like that. However, if the guys should see this video, what would be your personal message to the guys? Go ahead, Rafeef.
Thank you. I mean, they definitely got me through some of the very darkest times of my life, and they continue to do so. They've brought into my orbit some of the best people and best support that I could have never gotten in another way. And we're just grateful that they are back together, and we hope they stay that way until we live in their retirement home.
I love that. I love that. And Renee, before you give us your story, show me what you got because I see a lot of stuff that you have on the couch.
Oh, I have the this program that was autographed.
Nice.
I have the lunchbox because I just got home from work. Can you see the lunchbox?
No. Wait, keep your phone steady because it keeps moving. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, that is so cute.
Oh, that's nice. I want that lunchbox.
Yeah,
that's so cute.
Yeah, I had that done. And these are the sunglasses from Donnie that he threw to me. My ex-husband's like, how much are we selling those for on
like,
eBay time? I said, not even if you're starving. Maybe your baby that's like 2 months old, but not even if you're starving. I'm keeping those forever.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bury me with those.
Oh, those sunglasses. I saw my daughter wearing them a couple weeks ago after I got home from the dentist. And they were in the shadow box. I'm like, what are you doing? What do you have on your face? I'm sorry.
God.
So
if the guys was to see this, what would be your message to them?
Mine, I am just same as Rafeef. I am so thankful. Thank you for getting back together, and please keep continuing to do what you're doing. Everything is perfect. We're so excited, always looking forward to something new, and just thank you. Joey's song, Five Brothers and a Million Sisters, I listen to it at least 20 times a day. Everything he says in that song is right on. Everything he says. I thank them so much for everything in my life. So excited.
So thank you, ladies, for being on my show. We're gonna definitely do this again, and we're gonna have more to talk about, right? Because we're gonna make more stories happen.
Of course, more stories.
Thank you for having us on your show and for being so flexible.
Of course. And then for the rest of you, you already know, hit your girl up if you want to come on my show and tell your story, because this is your show. Until then, I need you ladies to do this with me. Stay safe, stay humble, and as always, lift up your arms like this. Lift them up and say, stay fabulous. I love you guys.
Love you too, Raven. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you.
See you Saturday, Raven.
See ya.
Bye, Rafeef. Safe flights.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.